Living on love, ain't fucking with hate. Keep the vibes up strong each and every.
I'm Mike Oregano, full-time traveling one-man band, and you're watching
Life in the OregaFam.
Come along with me, my wife Denise, and our pets as we travel around the country in our motorhome, exploring new places, meeting new faces, and playing music. Sit back, relax, and catch up
With Life in the OregaFam.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
How can I help you?
We're here to get registered.
Sure, last name. You here for 2 nights with us?
Yeah, check out Wednesday morning.
Okay, great. Down to here, okay?
Okay.
All right, first thing we're gonna do is
We gotta hook up the electricity. We got a surge protector. We use 30 amp power on our motorhome, so I'm gonna plug this in first and make sure that it checks out with the correct power. Like if it's these two lights, then it's correct. If it's different, then you gotta look and make sure what the hell's going on. I've had it be weird before, but so if you plug it in and then flip the outlet on, we're good. So then they also have a 20 amp outlet, I guess if you have a van or something like I used to do. Okay, so now that I know that that's connected, and that's correct, I'm going to shut the breaker, plug everything in, and then once it's so I'm going to plug in the actual cable to it. I'm going to place a bag around it as well once we get it. Now we'll plug this in the RV. Then at least we can start putting the heat on, and you know, we can use the microwave if we need to, the television. We don't have to use like batteries or appliances. So you plug it in. I couldn't tell you how many times, because whoever put these screws in, like stripped them a little. I couldn't tell you how many times I've scratched my finger trying to tighten this. Door. Oh, scratched my thumb again now. You can't make that shit up. That's on there tight. Where's that? Okay. In a couple seconds you'll hear a click. And now the converter clicked on. And I peeked inside, I can see, yeah, you can see actually the microwave is on. So now I'm gonna cover, just in case it rains, you know. Somewhat water capable, I guess you'd say, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I like to wrap them, tape them. You got some tape? Yeah. It might be overkill, but
You can't go wrong when you're singing your song. Keep the melody moving and a grooving real strong. Live your life and don't think twice. Give a little bit of sugar and a bit of your spice. Treat your pride with peace of mind, and you will.
that's it.
little something.
And we got power.
And I'm also gonna put a block underneath that to raise it like an inch off the ground in case the ground gets wet.
Yeah.
We're gonna empty our, how do you call it?
Well, the black tank, which has the pee and poop, and the gray tank, the gray water tank, which is like hand washing water and showering water. We're gonna empty that out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna attach this on here. This is the elbow fitting that goes in the ground. It goes here. I don't want to open it yet. I don't want to smell it. Then we're going to connect the other end of the hose to the RV. Smells good, doesn't it? I love the smell of shit in the morning. Okay, so now we're gonna hook it. Now, you could put it on blocks, but I'm not gonna.
Maybe just a couple to raise the top.
Let's just see what happens. So first, you want to empty the black tank, the poop. That goes down. Then you empty the gray water because that'll flush out whatever's left.
Here. And I see
And then if you go over to that elbow, you can see all the brownness.
I don't think I should. I don't think I need to show that necessarily. It's going?
That's why that elbow has a clear.
Yeah, so you can see. I
not
think
really-
it's so.
It's like, it's more like greenish because we put Aquamax toilet bowl, black tank treatment liquid in there to break down poop particles and really make it all liquidy. Makes it so you could drink it.
Yeah.
In case you want to play with it.
So now you're gonna empty the gray one?
Now that
You're gonna
this,
push it back in?
now like you can feel that there's nothing else coming out. Now you're gonna empty the gray water.
While the black one's open?
Yeah, I usually do. And because then you're gonna flush it as well, but yeah. So there's way more gray water than there was poop. Yeah, so we emptied the black and we emptied the gray, but now so I don't always empty the tanks right when I get to the campground, but they were pretty much full. They had antifreeze from when we winterized, still in it, all the water, all the, you know, we've been using the bathroom for 5 days. So we empty it when we get in. Now you're supposed to flush the tank. You hook up a hose to the flush line, that one on the right, and then you close the black tank, you fill it with water, then you empty it, and you just do it a bunch of times so that it cleans it out and cleans the sensors. But we're leaving in 2 days. So we'll just use the bathroom for 2 days, and in the morning when we leave, we'll empty it, and then we'll flush it really good before we go.
Okay, so now we're ready to
Now
enjoy
we're ready
ourselves.
to pretty much just go drink beer and act like retired people at the KOA.
Cool.
Go take our dogs for a walk after we drink beer. And
Maybe get lost.
oh yeah, and also what I did too, you gotta make sure that there's no, because it's cold out. I don't think it's gonna be below freezing, but it's gonna be very cold. So I just made sure to empty out the hose. I don't, you know, unless the empty line is higher than the RV, like this is fairly
Inclined.
is somewhat of an incline, and then I just pick up the hose and it just fishes it through, Whatever.
Well, we do have the blocks to put them
We
on.
have the
if-
blocks, but fuck that fancy shit. So anyway, I just made sure there's no water left in the line. It's empty, so nothing can freeze and expand and break.
Okay.
Now we could drink beer.
Okay.
It's simple, but it's just some things to do. We need to put Oregano.
Life is better
No,
with
no.
micro-oregano.
Oregano is better, I think.
All right, so we're having our Canadian
Oh,
beer.
it's not a picture. We're gonna clean the tanks today. Ready? Oh, I need to get the filter too. Alrighty. So today, since we've been at this campsite for a couple days, we're about to travel. We're gonna empty the black and the gray tank, and then we're gonna flush water into the black tank a few times to clean it out, because the sensors sometimes they get dirty. So the other day we cleaned it and it still said 2/3 full on the black tank because they're dirty. So if we fill it with water, it'll flush it and get all the debris out, clean it. Usually it takes about 3 times to fill it, flush it, fill it, flush it, fill it, flush it. Could take longer, usually about 3. So first I'm gonna empty the black. You always empty the black first, because the gray water, when you flush, it'll act as a flush as well. Alright.
That's about it.
So that's just about, it's still going a little. Then we get the hose prepped. Looks like we got 2 hoses here, which is good. So this one, I'll connect this one. Connect this one to the spout. And you want to make sure when you're doing anything with the RV, with hoses, water hoses, you can't use green garden hoses because they're not drinking water safe. They have contaminants in them, which is not good. So anything RV related, just use the white hose. They have them at Walmart. And now this is, you can feel that this is empty. Gray water goes down. So you can see it pushing all the rest of the debris that was in the hose out. And now I'm gonna hook, while that's emptying, now I'm gonna hook the hose to, you don't need a water filter to go into your tank flush, but we have a water pressure regulator here that regulates 45 to 50 psi. This one, the needle is kind of stuck, but it works. We're gonna get a new one soon. But now I can hook up my hose to the flush line. The water's still coming out. You wanna make sure too on your RV, you don't want to just hook the hose right inside because it'll pull down on the bib. So you got to use the elbow. "90-degree elbow." Because this hooks it in here, and then you're just pulling down on this, not pulling off the side. So I'm gonna hook this up to a hose.
If you wonder what that sound is, it's not the sound of freedom,
It's the sound of landscaping.
it's the sound of landscaping.
And by now the gray tank is definitely empty. And I like to use these things, these fittings, because they don't put a lot of extra pressure when you're connecting. See, this is anti-flush. That's the flusher, the flushing system. And now I just click this right in. I like to use these. These cost like $6, but they're good. But yeah, if you use fittings too, make sure they're brass, not stainless steel painted gold, because then, or aluminum. Now I'm gonna shut this. What I'm gonna do is open the hose valve, let some water start flowing to the pressure. Yeah, and you can see, for some reason that regulator, we gotta buy another one. But it went from the middle here, so we know that the pressure's just fine. And you can tell if you open this. I'm gonna open the valve like 3/4 too, just to kind of. I know. You can hear the water filling. It takes about 8 minutes to fill the tank. Like I said, the sensors are dirty, so it's not telling you an actual reading. But it takes about 8 minutes, so it's 10:09. So I'll check this at 10:17. The sensors right now are reading 2/3. So when they say full, then you know it's actually full this time. So it'll probably say 2/3 for another 8 minutes or so. So after a few minutes, I'll just keep checking the gauge inside, and it'll tell me. So in here, where you see black, oh, we did not too bad. It actually says 1/3 this time. So as that fills up to full, then we'll empty it, and we'll empty it until it shows empty. If we empty and it says 1/3 again, Jack, come on back in, buddy. If we empty it and it says 1/3, fill it and empty it again. And fill it and empty it until it shows empty. Gray, empty. It's just water. That's not going to stain it unless you have grease or something in there. So we'll just wait a few minutes, and then we'll flush it. And you want to make sure too, after you're done with all that, you know how to use Aquamax or some sort of RV holding tank treatment. It's a liquid. We pour it in a little bit, breaks down solids, and then when you empty out, you know, your tanks, it comes out like bluish green, but it all comes out as liquid. It doesn't allow solids to stick around. So when I'm checking it, I hit the black, and it says full for a split second. Then goes to 2/3. I reject it inside. So now I'm gonna shut it here. Put the water there. Empty the black tank. You'll probably still see a bunch of garbage coming out of it. And then we'll go check the tank level. Keep filling and emptying, like I said, until it gets to empty. So yeah, it's coming out a little cloudy still. These are the cucumbers we had yesterday. It's like the circle of life. Let's go check the level. Probably gonna have to do it at least once more. OregaFam, we're good. It says empty. No need to do it again. You know. I cleaned the tank real good before we winterized it, and we've only emptied it now. This is the second time. So, I guess we haven't really eaten too many sticky meals. But black's empty, gray is empty. Now you see fresh says 2/3, so we gotta fill the freshwater tank so that we have onboard water to continue using. You know, there's the battery. We're plugged in, so it says full. Propane we need to fill up for heating and cooking. But yeah, so we're good now. So what I'm gonna do is unhook. Yeah, I'm gonna unhook all those dump lines, fill up Aquamax in the bowl with our onboard water, and then fill up our fresh tank. Clear out the end of this line here. Are you filming that? You could use, like, they call them sidewinders that hold this, or use your leveling blocks.
We have them, but we
have
decided not to bring them because we didn't have enough room on the RV
I think,
for
yeah,
them.
this is in the other video. Like, we're on a slight pitch. Anyway, when the sewer line is higher than the RV, like, shit flows downstream.
So you have to use a block or something.
You have to lift it up higher, but in this case, just empty it, and then I just kind of tug on the. Good to go. And now I'm gonna close the tank. This one's already closed. Remove the hose. Remove this. Close that up. Spinning off. This I put in a plastic bag, store somewhere. The hose, though, we store it in our bumper. Some people don't like to do that.
Why is that?
Well, because the water from the hose could drip inside the bumper and eventually could rust the bumper out.
Just give it a second because we need to hear the sound of freedom.
So we store the hose inside the bumper. Some people don't like to do that because the water that gets inside the bumper could eventually rust through the bumper. I have seen some people attach like a rain gutter on top of or in front of, and maybe one day we'll do that. But for now, I don't have time. I've got two hoses for those times when you need extra length. There we go. This hose was just already extended, I guess. Alright. So that's how you do that shit, or empty that shit. Now we're going to fill up our fresh No, I lied. What we're gonna do is put the Aquamax in the bowl, so that as we start using it, we have a treated dump tank there, and then top off fresh water. Now you can leave like the water from the campground hooked up, hardlined into your RV when you're
feeling free.
I'm just feeling free right now.
Can you even see them?
The other day, literally felt like the engine was right next to me.
Yeah.
I could see them right above, and they'd shake the RV. So you can leave the water line hardline into your RV from the city, from the campground, but I don't like to do that, especially in cold weather, because if the water in your hose attached freezes, it expands. You can run the risk of blowing out the lines inside the RV, breaking your hose, etc. And also, if you're at a campground and the water's hooked up, you never know, there could be just a burst, and the regulator, you never know if your water pressure regulator is going to kick out, and if there's a sudden burst, that could be trouble. You know, you break stuff. So what I've been doing is fill the fresh tank, use the water pump, fill the fresh tank when I leave. Just use the water you have on board, you know, fill it up when you need it, disconnect it. This way, worry free, or worry less. So now I'm going to push this to the off position. I'm going to unhook. Now, I'm going to hook it back up though. I just didn't want the water to squirt out at me. It's annoying when I unhook it there. Now I'm just going to fill the fresh water. You know what? I might go around this time. I don't want to get the electric on wet. So do you go camping? When you go camping, where do you stay? Do you stay at KOA? Do you stay at Federal COE Campground? Do you stay at BLM land? Put in a comment below.
We might be making videos in each one of them too.
We probably will at some point, you know. Where do you find your water? Where do you find your resources? Comment below. Not only for us, but for everyone else watching. Is there a video you want us to do? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna keep all these in the off position, since it's just me and you're filming. I'm gonna turn the line on, then I'm gonna crank it open, and we're just gonna wait, and it's gonna fill, and you'll see the water shoot out here when it's filled. But first, Aquamax. I tend to forget to do that one. Turn on the water pump. Pump's on. That thing's empty. It's closed up on the outside, ready to go. And one of these days, when we finally get everything all situated, which is almost at that point, we'll show you. We'll give you a tour around, and we'll let you know how we did it. What I like to use, because I had a Thedford toilet, portable one in the van, still do, and I used to use Aquamax. and it truly does work. It gets rid of smells and odors, and it breaks down all the poo. So what I do is you could measure it. What does it say? RV marine holding tanks per 8 ounce. Pour 8 ounces per 40 gallon tank. We have around 40 gallon. So you could pour 8 ounces of this, or you could do what like a normal person just would do, and I step and I pour for 4 seconds. Never had a problem. You step, pour 1, 2, 3, 4. Let a little extra water, and that's how you do that. Don't have to be exact. I mean, you know, you never know. You never know what kind of shit you got. Literally. You don't know what you're going to eat tomorrow for breakfast or lunch, do you? We don't need these, but right there. I think that was there. Right, now we're going to fill fresh water. Because I that's why I used the fresh water on board.
What is it?
She wants to go help us.
You want to go help us? You want to use your bell?
She's looking by the door. Like I was saying before, so now it was reading empty, but now that we filled something in the tank, it's saying 1/3 right away, or like a split second. So it knows there's something in the tank, but it's not poop, so it's not sticking on the sensors. Now we're going to fill our fresh water, because see the fresh water is saying it's 2/3. So, and one day I'll do a video on how I insulated our fresh tank and secured it, and you know, we'll do a video on every little thing, but comment what you want to see. So we'll open this line all the way. Now I'm gonna open this line a little. Now they do make, I have seen like an attachment attached on your hose, has a little like a nylon tube, kind of like a talk box tube. If you guys are musicians, you know what I'm talking about. Like a PVC type of tube that would go in the tank attached, where you could just let it hang and leave it. But
you have to push in it.
I haven't gotten there yet, so I just use this, and it just kind of fits right there. And I'll just hold it like I'm watering my plants. But yeah, and so like I said, there's a little air grill here. It's the return line, I guess, or the spout. Once the water gets full, it'll shoot out of here, and you know that the tank is full. And you can hear it filling up. And sometimes some places have like treated water in the city, like fluoride and chlorine in the water, and you'll be able to smell it coming out of the vapor. This is probably just regular old Virginia Beach water. I don't know. But that's why we got our filter. And I do think it might be time to get a new filter, because I've had that one since the van. So maybe we'll get a new water filter and a new regulator. They're not expensive. Oh, I could smell a little bit of the treatment now. So yeah, we just wait. See how it's shooting out? See it pouring out? Good to go. Watch out for this. I'm gonna shut the line here. And it's gonna kind of burp and spit out a little bit of the water. That's just what happens. Okay. If you're wondering where to get these, you can get these fittings at like Tractor Supply. brass fittings. Not aluminum, not stainless steel. Brass. If they're cheap, it's not brass. But they're super convenient, and then you're not tightening and loosening, ruining threads and over tightening and blah blah blah. It makes a watertight seal. It has a rubber gasket inside. Pull it, click it. Love it. Unhook, pull back, click. I like that, because then if there's any water like left in there, it's not going to come out. But you know, it does save a little bit of weight when you get rid of the water. So I found this thing too at Tractor Supply. It was on clearance, but it's just a brass 4-way with 4 adjustable ball valves. You can see there's a ball inside. Open it and close it. So yeah, I'm gonna just open all these as well, just to get all the water out. But yeah, I love this thing. I have used it when I'm like an extended stay at a campground. You know, one, you could if you want, you could hardline the water in, hardline your flush tank. You can use one for fresh water, and then you can use one like for a hose to wash your dog and stuff. These things are really good. Always, like I said, make sure it's brass. If it's not brass, it's gonna be a pain in your ass. Plus, you could get your ass sick. You don't want to be a sick ass. But yeah, brass is the way to go when it comes to drinking water.
All right, that's it for KOA Virginia Beach holiday.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Life in the OregaFam. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, consider subscribing. You like this video? Hit the like button. Smash that notification bell to be notified every time we release a new video. Find me on other platforms at Mike Oregano. Follow OregaFam on Instagram to follow our journey through life on the road.